You remember? I don't know if this was everybody, but back when games, you'd be opening up EGM. You'd be opening up EGM 97. Oh, hey, game has been delayed from this holiday season to summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck! Oh my god! I have to wait till the end of the fucking school year. Are you? Oh my god! That's bullshit. Now it gets delayed a year, 2 years. Oh yeah, that's fine. Don't worry, man. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay,
Like,
that's
I'm
cool.
gonna be in grade 9 by then.
I won't even care about Street Fighter then. Whatever,
A new
whatever.
system's gonna be out.
Yeah.
That was always the one too. It was just the thought that like, oh no, what if a new system comes out? Because that's well, we've talked about the whole like you get the Christmas gift and that's what's happening, but like
Or not.
positioning to open negotiations on the possibility of a consideration
Like
of getting a different console.
you say kids or young people aren't smart. I remember setting up the groundwork to get consoles like 18 months ahead of time.
Wow.
Right?
Wow,
just
wow.
like as soon as I knew the new one would be like the PS2, it's like, man, this PS, it looks pretty old. I mean, your games look great, Pat. Nothing looks better. You're crazy. I don't know. It's, they're running. They're not making games for it anymore. It's just like trying to get that, and then you go on this like, oh wow, Dad, look at that. I remember the game was Final Fantasy X. That was the game that got me a PlayStation 2. I was like, holy shit! Remember that other one? Oh man, that looks crazy. Oh wow, hey, I have like. I saved up like $200. And it's like you gotta thread that needle of annoyance, of just like, okay, the parents already been annoyed for a year about this.
Yeah.
Are they willing to be annoyed about it for another year? No, they're not.
Can we get a pool dad? Can we get a pool dad? Can we get a pool? I think he gets the picture. Yeah. In particular, with my case, I definitely remember the like. Okay, so what you need to do is maximize the what I want to call the home shoppers network countdown timer.
Okay.
Right. Apply that to real life. So, oh fuck, oh shit, Gavin's selling his Dreamcast.
Oh,
Gavin's selling his Dreamcast, okay? And he's selling it with a controller of VMU and like 4 of his games.
and he's selling it for like $150. That's
but it's now.
It's got to be
You-
right
you
now.
don't understand.
Right? No.
Like
This is the deal of a century.
Troy is already talking to him right now. I can't. Right? And on top of that, and here's the thing.
That's really smart.
Mom, like, he also figured out a way so that he's got these burns of other games. So it's like, we're not even going to have to spend on the other shit because he's got these burned games and like, that's already a hookup.
Yeah.
So it's practically a fucking $1,000 deal.
Right now.
But we got to get it immediately.
Yeah, it's like.
Okay, cool. That's happening, right? And it's like, okay, but I want, and there would always be a sort of like, okay, but your next report card needs to be, I'm like, yeah. So it'll be like, okay, how about that? And it'll be like, but that's months away. So
Yeah, I don't have to think about that right now.
Okay, get it now.
Yeah.
And then if I fail, or it's not below, then you take the console.
Take it away.
Yeah. But
And in your mind, you're thinking, well, that's Future Bully. Who gives a shit about Future Bully?
Of course.
But 2, even if that gets taken away, I still have it now.
It's in the house. Yeah, exactly. And it's in the house. I can just earn it back.
I remember being able to convince my dad to get upgrades for the PC because, if we got upgrades for the PC, made it faster, and got a CD burner, I wouldn't have to buy any PlayStation games anymore at all.
Right.
And it's like, bam, done deal.
Yeah. What big one investment. Now the thing with that, of course, is like, so that goes down. The report card is in fucking whatever. It's in Futureland. Who cares?
Yeah,
right?
fuck it.
But we got it now, and the things are all set up, but only one controller. And it's like, well, hey, now look.
Listen,
I mean, we got one, and that's cool and all, but
we can go all Cain and Abel in the household.
quite frankly, Or you know what I mean? So let's shell up a little bit and pony up a little bit, and we can fucking take care of this right now, right here.
Yeah.
How about we head out in the back? No contracts, no deals. I don't have to ring this up on the register, and bada bing, bada boom, we're taken care of.
Yep.
There's and then let me head down to the microplane on the street, grab us another controller, maybe another VMU. Who knows?
Oh yeah, well,
who knows?
Who knows?
2 VMUs. Extra storage space. I mean, look, you hear the first one, it's beeping all the time. It's out of batteries. That's the problem. That's the problem is it starts beeping after a while, right? You can't stop the beeping. What about new battery? You can't stop the beeping. So we got to get a new one. So let's get me that. You get me the controller. We get that extra VMU. We're good.
Yeah,
we're good. There's 4 slots there. I mean, we don't worry. You know. And
you don't need that.
And then you fucking you set it all up. And that was like jockeying on the situation. And of course, like, Gavin was like, yeah, dude, I'll hold it for you, whatever. He's like, yeah, okay, fucking just not too loud.
And now
not too loud on the phone.
And now we live in this fucked up universe in which the average child, it's like, oh yeah, no, my older brother or my older sister or my mom just gave me their old PlayStation 3.
Oh, yeah.
Or what?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
that world.
Oh, your parents are into it.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to hustle it because your parents didn't have to hustle themselves. They just got it. And it's like,
now here's the real hustle though. Here's the real fucking setup, right? Were you able to work it in such a way that the handhelds existed on their own budget and timeline? Because that's the real tricky shit. If you can follow the handheld timeline separate from the console budget,
so
you're fucking living big.
I might have been able to do that.
Because that's hard.
I might have been able to do that. I had a thing set up where it's like long-term Christmas would have been consoles, right? Every 4 or 5 Christmases, bam, new console, right? Maybe birthdays, because the trick was that I had a brother and sister. My brother played games just as much as me. My sister a little bit. So it's like, oh, it could be a gift for all, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Handhelds didn't have that thing because they're handhelds. They're necessarily more, personal.
Yep.
Right. And I might have been able to get that going, except the first handheld I aimed at was the Game Gear. Thing sucked, barely played it. Any other attempt after that was like, but you never played that other one you got ages ago. Fuck this.
Yeah. No, that's
like, if I aimed at a Game Boy or a Game Boy Color, fucking whatever, fucking no problem. But I missed.
See, because that's the thing is like once it got set up, right? Once it got established with that original. And then I don't even know what happened to it, but I didn't have that original I had it for a while, and I went through all those games and whatnot. But once you had that established, that you're like, okay, it's a different toy.
Yeah,
it's not the same as the Nintendo.
No, it's very different.
This is a different toy. This is coming on the road in the car.
See,
right?
I'm quiet. Look at me being
exactly.
quiet.
And that green one right there, that was how Pokemon was played on trips, where you don't have to worry about taking care of me or being up to mischief or whatever bullshit. Because look, this is a pacifier. There you go. You know what I mean? Like, no problem. And you basically set it up to be that kind of thing. And then in addition to that, of course, like, you have the fact that like if you're willing to go and like buy a game for it, with your own money that you've gotten for your birthday or whatever, and your brother spends his money on his own thing, it very clearly makes it like, this is not the family Nintendo,
no,
this is mine.
Yeah.
And then that meant that you create that shift, that thing, and then suddenly when a new Game Boy Advance comes out or whatever is happening, and it's like, oh, but you just got a console. It's like, no. This is different. We don't. Okay, like, come on, what are we doing here? Exactly.
What are you talking about?
So yeah, you create a very clear gap in the two, so that you can piggyback fucking expenses, and they don't feel like you're spending on the same thing. Very important. Crucial.
Listen, adult, I know you adults don't know anything about video games, so I'm gonna trick you. I'm gonna fucking trick you.
There was literally no other way.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Not play the game? What kind of fucking crazy backwards ass world do we live in?
I remember the day that like society changed, and it was the day that my brother and I were playing Sega Genesis, and my mom came, why don't you kids go out and play baseball with the other kids in the neighborhood instead of playing these things? And we looked at her and was like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Baseball?
Right.
With who?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know, just kids around.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're like,
yeah.
what?
Like, yeah.
What? Like, we were so confused, and she was also confused.
Like, we can sit here, we can play our games, or we can go outside to the arcade and play some games, or we can go to the comic book shop
and look at the magazines about games.
and then in the back they had the TVs running where we'd then play some games.
Alternatively, we could go to the store, look at the games, talk about what games we want to buy or rent later.
Or I can head over to fucking Kingsley's house
Yeah.
and play some fucking game. Like, what do you want?
Or I can go to a street corner and shoot meth.
Yeah.
Is that what you want,
Yeah.
Mom?
Yeah. It actually kind
Actually, meth didn't exist at that point in time, so this kind of screws up.
but it actually kind of helped that there was a literal gang roving the streets of our neighborhood, literally like within the block we were on. So it was like, yeah, you can go outside and play in the streets, but do you really want that, considering the history we've had?
I think the biggest mistake my mother ever made was letting me overhear the words she said to my dad. Was like, well, at least he's not hanging out on some street corner with some bad kids or something, when they were like dad was complaining, oh, all the kids do is stay in and play video. And I overheard that, and that got rolled into, it's like, listen, I could go, I mean, we could go hang out, and I don't know when I'll be back. Or we could go to Blockbuster. I could get a rental for this fucking game. Like, oh man,
Well, because once upon a time, like, because here's the thing, like, especially when you live out in the super suburby areas, there's the roving bike pack, right? And that's like, in their head, what it was the kids from Stranger Things, just doing their laps around town on their bikes,
having adventures,
right? But then eventually that updated to, oh no, that's a roving pack of gang. That is a roving murder of crows.
So I grew up.
You can tell because they have the fucking bandana colors on their handlebars.
Yeah, I grew up nearly explicitly in the suburbs, and like the idealized version that I think my parents thought would exist was, oh, the kids would go ride the bikes and have fun adventures like the Stranger Things, right? You gotta go to. It's like, you know what that is? That's a bunch of bored kids.
Yeah.
That, for whatever reason, can't be at home, and they're bored, and they're going to get up to something. They might be, I don't know, huffing paint at your local playground or whatever, but they're bored. Like, I'm still, if I see like a bunch of kids riding bikes and they look bored, that makes me like, like, I don't like it.
Yes. Because the deal was, like, the same kids that jumped my fucking brother, the same kids that fucking ended up stabbing a dude near the metro where we lived, were the same guys that also rode their bikes to chase another dude through the park that was across from us and, like, fucking, like, jumped him at the end of it. But it's like, the bike thing is not the innocent stranger kids thing anymore. That's gone now.
No.
So outside is now actually, like, random battle zone. And you still need to let us travel and learn how to fucking wander the overworld, because you gotta get those skills.
The only reason anyone would ever be outside is because it's too fucked up to stay at home. So think about what those people are like.
Yeah. No, it definitely, your parents needed, they pushed off that update. The PvP update. Yeah. There was a PvP update to the world, and they were like, "Nah, I'll install it later."
It's like,
I'll install it later. It's like nah, it's happening now though. like
I'd still go out and hang out with with like friends of mine in elementary school, like at the local park, and whatever, just to hang out, be stupid kids. But it's like, every time we were not at home playing video games and we're playing outside, we're doing some stupid shit. Like, stupid fucking shit that I'm shocked, like, no one got, like, killed.